Well, it's been an absolute hot minute, but we're actually getting a filler rate up banner. It's been a minute since we saw anything like this, because I mean they did it a while back, but then they stopped. Honestly, I can't remember who the last filler banner was, but with Amamiya re-releasing, it makes complete sense, because if you head over, Charlotte had her banner extended for a week. Amamiya is dropping. Both Charlotte and Amamiya are both DPS. And funnily enough, they're both typing that is perfectly to go against Baran. That is right. Everything that developers are doing, it's a clear view to say, look, if you want the DPS characters to take on Baran, they're there for you. So that is why Amamiya is coming back around to those that did miss out on her, or maybe you're requiring a certain dupe or so. To be fair, if like obviously with Amamiya releasing, is it a wise choice to summon? I mean, realistically, Amamiya's been in the custom draw banner. She's now in the rate banner. If you have special summons, you can access her that way. I mean, we're at a point where it's very crucial to save, especially for free to play. You know, even if you're a low spender, right? Because half anniversary is practically around the corner, right? it's next month, right? So you know, as much as some people might want to try their luck on potentially getting some Amamiya dupes, or maybe you don't even have the character and you could do with the character. Yeah, think wisely about it. Unless you really need it, because at the end of the day, I understand that with the completing Baran, you know, I mean, you've got a higher chance to get legend. Because I think the only difference between Baran and Vulcan is that the chance. Oh wait, no, hold on a minute. Oh, I didn't know that. You can only get 2 sets of core pieces from Vulcan, and then Baran will give you all the sets. Oh, damn. Okay, that makes sense. So on the normal version, that is when you get the diamond version of the cores. Nah, okay, I didn't notice that. I just thought you had a higher chance to get legendary on Baran. I did not notice that there was a core specifically for Baran that you can't obtain through Vulcan. Interesting. Okay, good to know. Now, I guess that's an even more reason potentially to go for the DPS. Now, again, if you choose to go for the DPS between Charlotte and, well, no, sorry, for Amamiya. Obviously, with Charlotte being out, Amamiya dropping next, who would you want to cater to the most? As it stands right now, in terms of DPS and just kind of team completion, Amamiya is your best bet. Honestly, out of the 2 girls, being Charlotte and Amamiya right now is, in my eyes, the better DPS character to cater to go for, of course. If you already have her and you're potentially looking into dupes region for Amamiya, if I can remember correctly, I think it was A3 where the sweet spot was for Amamiya. So while the possessed effect is active, increases user's critical hit rate and critical hit damage by 20%. When the user uses type 3 while in the possessed effect, it applies Deep Darkness, increase the user's attack and critical hit rate by 12%, stacking up to 2 times, so that's 24%. Charges of the user's power gauge. Oh yeah, charges the user's power gauge by 40% when entering the stage, and then when the user uses their basic attack or core attack, it charges. Yeah, okay, so this is basically, yeah, A3. A3 is basically the sweet spot for Amamiya. As long as you got her there, then you're chilling with the consistency of the attack, and yeah, your power gauge just kind of being at the ready, so that way you can keep up with the possessed state, of course. On top of that, she has a much better completion of the team. So obviously you've got Amamiya, you've got a support character being Hansemi, and then you've got the newly buffed up Breaker Ninja, of course. Whereas obviously with the dark typing right now, we are missing that healer. I have used both wind and dark going against Baran. Dark was always on the verge of death, I will say. There was 2 instances where I had to reset, whereas wind, I was completely a-okay. And I think it's more to do with the fact that with wind, you know, I had my healer, which greatly buffed up Amamiya and just kind of made it so that I was able to clear house a lot sooner. But again, it is a bit of a tough one to say. You know, I mean, if you're not interested in Amamiya, or if you're happy, or if you have an A3 at the very most, then or even I mean, well, as long as you've got the initial copy, then of course you can go about slowly getting her. I mean, obviously you got to keep in mind now that she's in the rate up banner as a character that is pullable. You can rely on I mean, if you're summoning for Teach, if you're summoning for Thomas during the half anniversary, I mean, there is a chance that Amamiya can pull up, of course. But it's a rare banner, it's there. Again, everything that with the banner re-releases that they're doing and the extension, it's all for you, for the support of to use them against Baran. Again, in terms of the Baran content, even with no blessing, I have been powering through with my wind element. Wind element just taking care of the first floor. The Kaisel fight, I think that's predominantly all you kind of need for, right? It's just going to be those two fights. But yeah, if in terms of the two DPS characters, Amamiya is the better one to cater for, and so smart on the developers to re-release this character. So if that's something that you're interested in and you just kind of want to work on the Baran content, because obviously with the upcoming content with the dungeon raid, with the new boss, you know, we're not too sure on if there's anything new going to be added in terms of power level, because at the end of the day, the modes that we need to really heavily cater to is modes that's going to give us an increase in our power level to make us go stronger. So, and of course with the Baran content, it is providing us with those cores, and as hopefully some of you guys are working on them, those cores are giving us a big juice up. Alright, we are getting juiced up with those cores, and so to maximize having that third set of core that is only through Baran, yeah, making sure that you've got all areas cleared, well, kind of ready, should I say, through Sun Jinwoo's weapon, as well as catering to the better element, aka in this case, the better element is, in my opinion, wind. But I mean, if your wind isn't done up and you're just working on the dark element, then I think it will be wise to skip Amamiya and focus on Teach coming, because realistically, dark element is missing that healing support character. So when Teach comes into play, then I feel like Charlotte will then get her spotlight. As of right now, though, wind is won over, in my personal opinion, with the experiences that I've had through completing Workshop or Brilliant Light multiple times with both either wind or dark element, of course. But wind has by far come on top and made life a whole lot easier, especially with the damage output and just getting through the fights a lot sooner and a lot quicker. So yeah, just for the sake of it, in terms of building her up, I always do this: Curse on the left hand side and then Expert on the right hand side. And yeah, I mean, look, like I said, with these cores, I mean, you can get like a massive boost. I'm hoping I can get something. Actually, well, this isn't too bad, but yeah, stat wise, it's that you know you can get some big things going. So this is kind of like the big reasons why Baran it needs to be catered to, of course. But yeah, with the release, with the re-release of Amamiya, it is more of a perspective to look towards Baran if you are heavily in need of Amamiya or potential dupes in support of completing Baran. Between the two girls, Amamiya is the better option, just because you've got the whole team completed. Is there any rush to go about getting them? Can you go about getting them in other means? I mean, of course, the accessibility for Amamiya has broadened up now due to the fact that, you know, she's in the custom draw banner, she's in the raid up banner. So even when you're going for Teach or even when you're going for Thomas, you've got a chance for Amamiya to make an appearance, although it's a slim one. In the special summon, you can get Amamiya from there. So you do have your options. I mean, I've even got it on my rate up list because I'm trying to get some pluses onto her, but there you go. But yeah, a re-release banner will be happening for her, just to so that if people want to focus on her directly, then you can do so. A3 is the better one. Charlotte versus Amamiya. Amamiya will take the cake. Amamiya does really clear up the Baran content if that's something you're interested in. But yeah, she's coming back, and she is one hell of a DPS character. She's high tier. She's like the highest tier. She's on par with like Chai and Alicia, as we're all aware. So yeah, but Charlotte is right now just not quite up there with the other DPS girls. I will say that. So Amamiya above Charlotte.